What is up, you guys? Welcome to my first YouTube video. I'm gonna be doing a little series restoring my new to me C3 Corvette. It's a 1980. It's nothing special, but it has good bones, or at least I'm hoping it does. As we tear into it, we'll figure out if everything's good on it. But I don't want to talk for too long, so let's just get into it. All right, so before I get into it and start tearing this thing apart, I just want to show you the car. Like I said, it has good bones. The body is straight. Paint-wise, obviously, no bueno. Interior, it's all there for the most part, but cracked dash, steering wheel is disgusting. It needs work. It needs work. So, yeah, but here she is. Not too shabby. So in today's video, we're gonna be getting the full interior out. Which is going to be the dash, the steering wheel, the center console, and all the carpet, the seats, the door panels, all of this trim that goes around by the T-tops and the A-pillars and whatnot. So interior will be fully gutted. First thing we're going to do is get in here and disconnect the battery. So we want to get this out, that way when we're messing with anything electrical up here, we don't blow a fuse or start a fire. Most likely blow a fuse though. I'd be surprised if it lit up. So let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty, so we're just gonna use a ratcheting wrench. Get in there, remove the negative first. And you can see it's already losing a little bit of connection here. So, all that light there, see? Alright, I'm gonna get this off camera. Same with the positive side, it's gonna be the exact same. We'll pull the battery. Battery is out. Now, I think the next thing we're gonna do is hit the seats with some PB Blaster on these bolts. I'm hoping they're easy to come out, but I'm gonna do them by hand, not using impact, and we'll let them soak for 5 to 10 minutes. Real easy. Oh, of course I sprayed the carpet, but that doesn't matter. All right, so while these seats are sitting with their PB Blaster, let's start kind of ripping out some of this gunk over here. I don't know how he mounted these speakers. Oh, he didn't. Perfect. That makes my life really easy. All right, so we will get as much of this removed as we can. I think we can almost remove this whole back section of carpet, actually. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. I will say I'm very excited to see what electrical things we find, because some of this stuff is just like, I don't know, like using spade connectors. That wire right there is showing, it's sticking out of the butt right there. See that? That is one thing that scares me, is trusting other people's wiring. Sometimes I don't even trust my own wiring, but at least I know what it looked like when I put it in there. You know what I mean? Versus this, like right now, it's like, hopefully that's the ground exposed and not the 12 volt. So I don't know, but I'm probably just gonna cut these wires, honestly, because it's just spade connectors holding them in anyway. So yeah, all right, this will make my life a little bit easier. We will cut them far back though, so that I sell them, someone else can use them. The only reason I'm cutting them is because I really don't feel like trying to crawl back there even more and dealing with that, because cutting them takes 2 seconds. So, and this is the pile of parts. We'll see how much we have by the end of this video. I pulled out that whole cubby. I didn't know that would come out in one piece, but it did, so that's nice. And look at that, we have a jack. So, I mean, I'm probably not gonna run the jack in here because I'm not gonna have a spare tire, so there's really no point. Which I don't even know if this thing actually has a spare tire. I think, isn't it located under here? I think this is the cover for it, is it not? Oh, sorry, my camera swiveled. I don't see a spare in there. I'm pretty sure that's where it's located. Could be wrong though. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is pull this carpet back. This side's already started. Oh, look at this old sound deadening and insulation. Isn't that just lovely? This is gonna be fun to remove. That's so gross. It almost feels like a cardboard material, almost, but like with resin or something. Kind of see that? Interesting. I'm gonna vacuum everything once we're done, so it's okay to make a little mess. So we need to get to this bolt. I mean, I guess I don't really care if I save this or not, but, because it kind of looks a little gross. But I think we should be able to get to the bolt if we pull this back, no? Oh, it's just hooked on. Interesting. Okay, so this must be factory then, because it has like a little spot to hook on. Okay, I'm going to use 2 hands to get this off, but should just slide right off, and then once that's out, I think we can pull the whole carpet out, almost, unless that bracket right there is holding something, which I kind of think this is where the speakers were going, I think, and then those covers were supposed to go there, but obviously those weren't there, and he just had those 2 speakers sitting right there. All right, I'm gonna get these off. Okay, the seats should have had enough time sitting, so I'm gonna take those out because it'll make my life a lot easier, because right now I'm trying to like lean over to get in there, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt. Ooh, can't talk. Pain in the butt. So we'll pop these seats out, and then we should be able to get back there a little bit easier. Because I am noticing it looks like the carpet's kind of like attached to this little slider somehow. Like, because when I pull on it, see that? I don't know if you can tell very well because I can't get back there very good, but I'll show you guys once I get the seats out. Okay, this is one thing I was a little bit worried about. I work on mostly Japanese cars and like a Miata, which is from the 90s. And these pretty much exclusively use metric. This guy, I'm already running into a problem with the front seats. It's in between a 13 and a 12. I'm not familiar with standard, so I do have some standard sockets. Alrighty, a 1/2 inch felt pretty good on there, and I did have a socket. So let's go ahead and get these seats out. Okay, so not too surprisingly, these came out extremely easy. I have a feeling that within this car's 45-year lifespan, someone's probably been in here before and taken these seats out, and they probably didn't torque them. They probably just snugged them down a little bit. And also, I don't know, maybe they go into fiberglass, it's like with like a riv nut or something. I don't know. So maybe you don't tighten them down all that much. But the seat, oh, that just hit me in the face. Should be free. Guys, we're getting rich. Oh my God. I'm making my money back. Oh, that was awkward. Okay, let me set this guy down and I'll show you our treasure. Look at this, you guys. Oh boy, what do we have here? Oh my goodness. Huh. Would you look at that? 7 cents? Don't mind if I do. And I know there's a penny on this side too. So we were up 8 cents on this car. That's amazing. All right, you guys, passenger seat is out. Now, let's tackle this back carpet. I see, so I need to remove that bolt, and then I'm assuming there's one on that side too. Or actually, that side seems like there isn't one. And then I'm guessing this whole slider would come out potentially, but I might need to get in here, remove this trim, and then I can get the slider out. Alrighty, you guys, so I ended up just cutting the carpet right here for now, and then now I can get access, which is nice because this is bolted all the way back, and this guy is spinning freely, annoyingly enough. So now I have a little bit more room though. I'm probably gonna cut the carpet a little bit more there, and then I'm gonna try to get a screwdriver up in there to create a little resistance so that when I zip it, hopefully it catches and we'll go. I found a few things. First of all, little crack in the fiberglass there, not a big deal, I'll patch it up. Right here, you guys remember when I was like, I don't trust other people's wiring because a lot of people are not great at it. This is fire damage. See that, how the fiberglass is moving? So I'm gonna have to cut this out, put a patch right there, not the end of the world. And then on this, I can actually show you. Because I was looking at it and I was like, it's really interesting how this one has this on it and it came out super easy in one piece. And then this one came out like this. The fire damage right here. So this is all burnt. So his wiring, or maybe it was the factory wiring, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but probably his wiring melted right there. And you can see, I mean, I think some of this is factory, but like, it's just, ugh. So we're gonna make a whole new wiring harness for this puppy and make it look good and clean, because this right now, no bueno. So I'm a little bit bummed about that. That I'm not too worried about, because I can probably just sand it down and put a little bit of resin on it. That guy though, I'm gonna have to cut it out, because it's completely just, I could put my finger through it. Alrighty, you guys, so I did forget to film it, but the center console is out. So now all that is left is the steering wheel, the dash, door panels, and then just some trim for like the T-tops and whatnot. I want to take a break from the interior and do the door cards really quick and get these off, because they look really easy. And I know the dash is going to be kind of a pain. So let's go ahead and do the door panels. So it looks like it's mostly just a lot of little Phillips. So got a lot of them to remove, but that's all it looks like. So it looks like we have another one in there. We have these two. There's one hiding right there in that carpet. Another one there. And I bet you we probably pull up or something and it should pop off. So I'm gonna remove all the Phillips and then we'll see if we can pull it off. Okay, so I got all of the screws and whatnot removed, I believe. And it seems loose. So I should be able to remove it. Perfect. And we do have a little pigtail here, which, that looks a little ghetto. Hang on. Let me do this. There we go. Doesn't really matter because all the wiring is being redone. But yeah, look at this. Just seems a little, I don't know, like it shouldn't be like that. Well, that wire just fell right out of there. So, but cool, door card is removed. All right, the next thing I want to tackle is the steering wheel. So it looks like these guys back here that are covered by this little wire right here are what is for getting the steering wheel itself off. So I'm going to take off these guys first, see what we get access to, and just kind of go from there. Alrighty, so that was super easy. I just kept taking off every screw I could get to, and it popped off. So now all that left is, sorry, I cannot talk. Now, all that is left is really just the dash for the most part. Then we just gotta come back through and get a lot of this wiring out, and some other junk, but we're getting really close. So, making some good progress here. Alrighty, you guys, so now that the door panels are off and the steering wheel is off, let's go ahead and tackle this dash. Now, I think with these little speaker covers, they actually are just gonna, this one's actually in here a little bit better than the other side, but I think they're just gonna pop out. Cool. And I do think, you know what? I think that side might have been replaced. Let's see. Let's go to the other side of the car. Because I could have sworn, oh, I stepped in oil. So it's a little slippery now. That this side was a Polk audio speaker. Yeah, this one's Polk. They look the same though. I think the lettering just wore off on that guy. So we're gonna save these. We'll probably just respray them with some trim paint, which we'll use SEM. I believe that's how it's pronounced at least. So, all right. Now this is the part I'm not really looking forward to, you guys. I think the first thing we're gonna do is take out the speakers if I can get a Phillips on these back ones, which, well, let's find out if we can even do that. Okay, so there's no good way to do this, but I did think about something, so I put my finger in here, and if we look, it completely moves with the dash. So I don't even think we necessarily need to take the speaker out. Obviously the wiring's gonna probably need to be cut, but for now, let's just forget about it and move on. So it looks like there is lots of little Phillips around the dash. We're gonna go around and just Why does that look weird? What is this? You guys see that? Huh. I don't know, maybe it's part of the dash. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go ahead and just start taking out Phillips. Well, that was kind of funny. I only took out these 2 Phillips. Look how loose the dash is already. And when I went like this, just to kind of like see where it's kind of connected, which honestly, it looks like it's gonna just be a few screws here and there and should honestly slide out. But then all of a sudden the HVAC piping just fell onto the floor. So, kind of funny. Let's go ahead and continue. We'll go over that side and start taking a little bit more out. Didn't expect for it to be this easy though, I will not lie. So, this is gonna give me a little trouble, I feel like. I can't tell where we're hung up. I do remember watching a video a while ago, and I believe that there was something like a clip. So I'm gonna try to look up underneath the dash, which is not fun because this is all, yeah. But I'm assuming there's something holding us. But it moves quite a bit, so I might be able to just yank it out, potentially. Not that I want to do that, but I'm gonna see if I can find anything where it's hung up, and then I'll record myself pulling it out, I guess. Okay, so I took out the glove box lining, and let's see if you guys can see. Right here, there was this like clip that went onto the dash. So now you can see the dash is very free. I'm kind of thinking there might be another one just like that on this side. But once that's out, we should be able to pull the dash out, and then I'm gonna just start clipping wires. Because I know there's gonna be a good amount of wiring there. And we can actually unplug this speaker right here. So that'll just come with the dash. So let's go ahead and see if there's anything like that on this side, holding it up. Ugh. So it kind of does feel like it. It feels very similar. So let's see if we can't sneak my hand in. Oh, it's right there. Is that it? Let's see if I can show you guys. You see that metal right there? I think that's it. So when I wiggle the dash, it's kind of awkward. Held up on it. So I think I need to release it like that. Okay, dash is pretty much free now. So that was kind of a fight, but the dash is out. And keep in mind, you guys, I'm rewiring the whole car and not going to be using any of these vacuum lines and stuff. So that's why I'm kind of violent when removing all this. If you were doing something like this, like a project, you probably are gonna not wanna cut all the wires. Just disconnect the pigtails as you should. Now with this guy, it's gonna be fun to get in there. They don't really give you a whole lot of room, but it doesn't really matter because this, I'm even gonna change this up. We're gonna make a little fiberglass mold of this and make our own gauges. So that'll be fun. Well, not make our own gauges, but we're gonna use aftermarket gauges. So I'm gonna try to get back here and cut these. And then we just have like HVAC piping and whatnot. So yeah, it is a few days later. I did take kind of a break, and then I came out here and cleaned a little bit just to kind of see what we're working with a little bit more here. It's looking pretty good. We still have a lot though, a lot to do, kind of. We have the HVAC unit, which has a heater core in it, which means we're gonna have to deal with coolant. As of right now, what I'm thinking is we just crimp the coolant line going to the heater core. So that way our coolant loss is at a minimum and we don't spill it everywhere, either into the car or the ground. Other than that, we are looking really good. We just really have the why can't I say it? Steering column, sorry, my bad. And then a lot of wiring. So and then all this trim up here. So what I'm thinking right now, because I want to do something a little bit easy before we dig into, I'm not saying this is going to be hard, but it's a little bit more annoying with the HVAC control system. We're going to go ahead and remove like the A-pillars and also this T-top trim and stuff. So that will be something nice and easy to do. And then we will dig into that. And then after that, you guys, the interior is pretty much stripped other than like the doors, which I probably will just do off camera. This is already a very long video, I feel like. And this will be my first time editing a video, so I know it's gonna be rough, but we have a lot to do. It is crazy to me how much, oh, this is barely even in there, GM enjoyed Phillips screws in the 80s. They literally just screwed this car together. It's kind of crazy. Okay, let's see. Will that just kind of pop out now? Kind of seems like it hooks around there. I don't want to break it. Let's go ahead and just take out this top section. Maybe this holds it in. That was kind of weird. Oh, there's another one right there. Man, they just, like I said, they went crazy with the Phillips. I mean, you know, rather have them do the Phillips than flatheads, I guess. I don't know. What about you guys? Do you prefer Phillips, Torx bits? What do you prefer to have to deal with? For me, I guess Phillips aren't bad, but it's just kind of crazy. You know, I guess I'm just used to 90s cars where they use the crappy clips, which, you know, I would rather deal. Ooh, sorry, that was very shaky. Ooh. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just continue on and remove all these screws, and then it kind of looks like to me this section will be popped out first, then the A-pillars, and then this is split in half. So yeah, okay. So I went at it. We got the A-pillar, and I believe this is the B-pillar. Correct me if I'm wrong though. And you guys, one thing, if you don't know about C3s, is this is called the bird cage. It's a little interesting. It kind of comes down, it'll go across, and then I believe it goes down again. But basically, that's one of the metal bits that is extremely important on these C3s. You want it to be in good shape. And let me show you mine. So first of all, we have all this gunk, but it's just dirt. Surface rust. That's it. Only surface rust. This is all great. I'm not being sarcastic or anything. That's amazing. Surface rust is like the best thing that you could ask for, because obviously the car is super old. But if you look in this area, everything is super freaking solid. No major rust. So I'm very pleased with that, because it would suck. I don't want to deal with a rusted out bird cage, because I mean, at that point, you guys, it's almost easier to sell the car and get a different chassis. Just getting a whole new C3. So very happy that it's looking super solid throughout the whole car. Even the floorboards, which I think it was like 78 or something like that. Could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but they switched over to metal floorboards just in, I think it's like this section right here. So you can see mine have a little surface rust, but nothing major. So that's from water sitting there. So we'll clean it all up and should be good to go. But let's go ahead and continue removing this trim. It's super easy, just a lot of Phillips. Not very excited for getting back there, because I'm gonna have to crawl, but that's okay. We'll get her done. We will get her done. So I have all of this trim out. It was super easy. Just lots of Phillips. I need to now remove the little back cover thing. And if you guys remember, that bolt was spinning on me. So we will see how that goes. Hopefully I can get that out. If not, I might have to wait until I get the window removed, because I'm not going to try to crawl back there to grind that off. It'll be easier to just do it from above. So let's go ahead and keep going, I guess, and get going, get this removed. So I did manage to get it out, thankfully. Wasn't the funnest thing ever, but it wasn't bad, I guess. So now the rear end of the car is pretty much done, which is awesome. That's exciting. We're getting close. Now, I have this visor. The other visor broke, but he did give me a replacement one, so that's cool. I need to look up how to do it, but I guess, if my guess is at least, that this will need pried out, I'm assuming. And then there's probably like a Phillips or something holding it in. I don't know. That's just my guess though. Or they're threaded in themselves and I don't know. So we gotta remove the visor and then, HVAC stuff and a lot of wiring. So I might just start doing the wiring from here back and just get cutting and make a pile. Just that way we can kind of keep everything clean as we go. Because now the back of the car is pretty much done, other than all the wiring. So let's go ahead and just kind of snip wiring from, let's say, the e-brake back. All right, you guys, you ready for this? I'm sure some of you guys cringe at this, but personally, I don't trust wiring this old. And I would rather just redo the whole car. So that's what we're doing. All right, now we got to deal with these guys, which I hate, but we don't need to save them. We can just snip them. They're not even that bad. I don't like dealing with them. You just kind of squeeze them and then they pop through though. Okay, and then those will pop through there. Cool. So now we can kind of just, let's see, where does that go? Is there some relays back here? Something of the sort. Which, some of the wires are already snipped. This is why I would recommend everyone, if you're working on a car this old or planning to, just plan on rewiring the car fully. Don't trust any of this stuff. It's just, first of all, it's been through so many owners, and you don't know what they did. You know what I mean? Now, granted, if it was like a one owner gem and like the guy took really good care of it, different story. But if you're buying a project car that is in alright condition, I wouldn't trust it. Electrical fire, not the best way to watch your car go. You know what I mean? I do not like dealing with pigtails. They're so annoying. Okay, well, it does seem like these hold on that little bracket. So why don't we just zip out these little, what are they, probably 7mm? Zip them all out. And then this whole bracket should come out. And we can just pull all the wiring with it. I like that idea. And then also, I think this is the ECU right here. So this we might be able to sell. I'm not looking forward to this HVAC unit, you guys. I don't want to deal with coolant, but we got to do it. But once that's out, the interior is pretty much done, so that'll be sick. I'm going to go ahead and do some of this wiring off camera. It's not going to be that interesting. It's just going to be a lot of snipping. And I guess I'll remove those brackets for the ECU. Don't think it's an ECU now that I think about it, though. And also for what looks to be like relays or something like that. Which, what I'm thinking for when I redo the car, I'm going to put my ECU right in the stock location. Well, again, don't know if that is an ECU, but if it is, I'm going to put my Holley Terminator right there. And then I can put some relays right here, potentially on the same bracket, if I modify it a little bit. So that'll be kind of cool. Kind of keep it stock, you know. Alrighty guys, so right now I'm working on disconnecting the steering column, and oh boy is it fun. I have 2 bolts I need to get to right there, or nuts, can't tell which it'll be right now, but I did loosen up this. right here, but I didn't take it off all the way because I don't want for the steering column to just fall, which I don't think it would, but. And then in the engine bay, I disconnected. You can't really see it right now, it's dark, but I got one bolt out of there. And then I think, I'm watching someone else do it on YouTube, and they're doing some stuff with like levers and all sorts of stuff. But I think he has an older Corvette, and I think for mine, it kind of looks like I can just zip those 2 bolts out and potentially pull out the whole steering column. So I think that's what I'm going to give it a shot right now. And if it doesn't come out, ooh boy, that'll be fun. Yeah, not looking forward to that. I'm really hoping it just comes out. All right, you guys, so I got the steering column out. It was pretty easy. Just disconnected the 2 bolts at the firewall, or I guess they're technically nuts. And then the 2 bolts holding it up, and then the 1 bolt in the engine bay, which is like the pinch joint. All right, so now we have the HVAC system left, really, and that's about it until the interior is done. We do have some small stuff that I'm gonna do off camera, like that bracket right there, that's a little rusty, and a little bit more wiring. And also the doors, which I'll also do off camera because it's not gonna be that interesting. It's just a lot of little things, and I'm probably gonna have to jump the windows to get them to go up a little bit and stuff, so that'll be kind of fun. Maybe I'll video that part, but yeah. Alrighty, you guys, I finished pretty much everything off camera. It was not very interesting, to be honest with you, other than the fuse box. I probably should have recorded that. It fought me. It was not fun, you guys. I ended up having to pretty much break the fuse box in half. It was located right here. So I ended up getting this long screwdriver because I don't really have any good chisels at the moment. And I was able to just break it in half after probably about 2 hours. It sucked. And then I hit the full interior with the shop vac, and it looks okay. It's a little bit cleaner. It really needs power wash though, you guys, like really bad. So my whole idea is once we get the body onto the body dolly, we'll work on disconnecting everything. So we'll get anything in the engine bay disconnected, get the bumpers off, pretty much get the car fully stripped. And then once we're done getting the car fully stripped, we're gonna roll it outside and power wash everything really good and thoroughly, because oh boy, does it need it. Like it's disgusting. Like, I mean, you can just tell, look at these floorboards. It's so gross. So I'm really excited to get it cleaned up. All right, you guys, I know I'm looking rough right now, but it is hot in the garage. And I've been out here for probably about 8 hours today, I would guess. So maybe a little more. But I'm really happy with the progress we made today. Tomorrow I'm going to be out here again for another 8 hours. And hopefully by the end of tomorrow we can have everything disconnected, and we can get ready for the body to come off of the frame. Because if we can hopefully be ahead of schedule and I can get the car done sooner than later, that would be awesome. Because I don't know if I told you guys this, but this is my drive-away car for my wedding in June. So I don't have a whole lot of time. I think my Miata took me about 2 years, but I also jumped all over the place with that car. So hopefully with this one, I can be a little bit more straightforward now that I know the process a little bit more and my end goal. And then also stuff like the engine on the Miata, it probably took me about 2 months, 3 months. And that's not including the machine shop, you know. But with this car, I know I just want to do an LS. Either an LS1, or I might go like the L33 route. So we'll see. I haven't ordered anything for that. First, we'll get the frame fully fixed up, looking pretty, and then we'll get the drivetrain on there. So we won't have to worry about the engine and stuff for probably about another month or two. So yeah, but thank you for watching, you guys. I appreciate it. I know this video is probably a little wonky and all over the place, but hopefully as time goes by, I will get better at making these. And I also want to try to get better at filming myself working on the car and like showing the process a little bit more. I don't know if that would be time lapse or what, but I want you guys to be a little bit more involved. I know this video, not what I want. I know it's not going to be like what my envision is or my vision is for the video, you know. But anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.